or rather tape.
The United States is increasingly demonstrating
I said let me restart it. That's pretty loud.
the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations, and in fact this is retaliation for the West. While the Soviets have indicated participating in the Los Angeles Olympics primarily because the United States has made no attempt to guarantee the safety of the Soviet Union's athletes. The United States is increasingly demonstrating the belief that the issue has nothing to do with its preparations.
Those materials have already been processed. It may not be much, but we can use them straight away if you bring them back to base.
Today's news.
That's quite some news. The Soviet Union not attending the LA Olympics? Yeah. Andropov's death has changed some things. They're calling it revenge for the Western boycott. The Olympics.
That looks like the target.
Moscow Olympics. Yes. In protest of the Soviet Union's invasion of Afghanistan. Over 50 countries were absent. It's too bad I didn't get to see Yamashita's judo. When the 40th Army crossed the Amu River 4 years ago, détente went right out the window. The U.S. Congress chose not to ratify SALT II, and Reagan's hardline politics won in the presidency in a landslide. According to him, the Soviet Union is an evil empire. The Second Cold War. And there's been no end to regional conflicts and civil wars. Lebanon, the Falklands, Grenada, Iran.
The enemy's given up their search for you, but they're not giving the all-clear just yet. Stay alert.
But then the driving force on the Egyptian side, President Sadat, was assassinated afterward. Apparently his actions were considered a betrayal of his fellow Arabs. Islamic extremists? Yes. Fundamentalist extremists have been responsible for some bold acts of terrorism in recent years. We've had extremist students in Iran take U.S. embassy workers hostage, and suicide bombings in Lebanon. Over 300 foreign soldiers stationed there have been killed. The countries have yet to develop an effective means Afraid of losing their own men, they've pulled their forces out, handing private forces a golden opportunity. Private forces? Small armies with no national affiliation, working for the highest bidder. That's right, they got the idea from you. After Mother Base went down, they began spreading to meet the soaring demand. Miller's organization is just one of many PFs now. The entire world is after you. But at the same time, it needs you too. Miller told me about what happened in the Caribbean 9 years ago. You do remember Miller. You'd formed a private army with him. An army with no allegiance to a nation. I remember, but... I see. You're not sure what's fact and what's... So SALT II still hasn't gone into effect. That treaty was drawn up to limit not just the size of the U.S. and Soviet Union's nuclear arsenals, but also their delivery systems. The whole deal. Just when we thought all those years of negotiations had paid off, somebody decides to invade Afghanistan. The timing couldn't have been worse. The president was in the middle of the SALT II talks back then. You mean while you were busy trying to stop Peace Walker? I heard. President Ford was meeting with the General Secretary in Vladivostok. In his absence, the political brass in America detected what they didn't realize was false nuclear launch data from Peace Walker. They were on the verge of ordering a retaliatory nuclear strike. Coleman's big idea? Humans are incapable of destroying themselves. Turns out he never knew what humans are capable of. If that AI, the boss, hadn't found a way to stop the fake data transmission, they probably would have gone ahead with the launch. Deterrence was revealed as the pipe dream it was. All thanks to you. And her. The U.S.-Soviet talks looked set to fall through. What happened in Nicaragua no doubt helped trigger a change of heart. But in the end... The time's to find the politics. When you've grabbed their tail, they turn and bite your hand. I first met you 20 years ago now. The place was Selenouyarsk in the Soviet Union. We were enemies. I was with the GRU. You were still fighting for America. 1964. Operation Snake Eater. Its objective? The assassination of the legendary soldier known as...
Target secured. I'll tell the client we sent the target to a place outside of heaven. Boss, your objective's complete. Exfiltrate out of the hot zone by chopper or on land. Don't hang around.
You knew the original members from Operation Snake Eater. From America, there was David O.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Major Zero. When you returned home successful, they awarded you the title Big Boss. Your CO, Zero, sought to carry on. We were enemies. I was with the GRU. You were still fighting for America. 1964. Operation Snake Eater. Its objective? The assassination of the legendary soldier known as the Boss. When you returned home successful, they awarded you the title Big Boss. Your CO, Zero, sought to carry on the boss's will by covertly establishing his own organization. You knew the original members from Operation Snake Eater. From America, there was David O., or as he was to you, Major Zero. Donald Anderson, a.k.a. Sigint. Dr. Clark, who went by paramedic during the operation. And the fourth, you. From China, there was Eva. And me, Ocelot, from the Soviet Union. 6 in total. To us, government notions of friend and foe...
So if sandstorms come in, sandstorms effectively make you blind and deaf. But that goes for the enemy, too. Use the situation to your advantage.
I first met you 20 years ago now. I was with... There was David O., or Donald Anderson, a.k.a. Sigint. Dr. Clark, who went by a paramedic during the operation. And the fourth, you. From China, there was Eva. And me, Ocelot, from the Soviet Union. 6 in total. To us, government notions of friend and foe were meaningless. As were East and West, we joined forces by our will alone. Our objective was to fulfill the boss's dying wish. To make the world one. And to do it, Zero used the Philosopher's Legacy, the secret war fund you obtained during Operation Snake Eater. This organization would go on to become Cypher. I, on the other hand, was left with the problem. You only recovered half of the legacy. I had to locate the other half myself. When I found the funds, I passed them on to Zero, just as you wanted. I still trusted him in those days. We thought what he was doing was the boss's will. Until he started that one project. Les enfants terribles, Zero called it. You parted ways. As did Eva, leaving only Anderson and Clark still with him. I maintained limited contact. Although, truth be told, we were just keeping tabs on one another. The reason was always you. After you returned to the Army and created Foxhound, you left America. For a time, even I'd lost track of you. I'd imagine Zero did too. You always were the best when it came to hide and seek. Zero created Cypher, an information... Zero...
Yeah.
Really?
The coast is clear. Mission complete.
Jesus. Well, we'll get to work.
Mission complete. Great work.
I lost GMP again. That's not good. Support helicopter armament. Ooh!
How you feeling, boss? Getting used to being in the field again? Having choppers and horse at your disposal is indispensable for operating in the wilds of Afghanistan. I've gone ahead and arranged for you to be able to develop and customize weaponry for support choppers. And you can also develop new equipment for D-Horse if you like. Use your iDroid to start development as needed.
Cool. Special warrants
Remember the guys you brought back from the base in Cuba 9 years ago? Believe it or not, some of them survived that hell we went through. Word reached them that Big Boss is back and they wanted in. They're good men. Our brothers in fate. They'll be glad to know you've seen them here.
Hideo. Oh. Fucking hell. And oh yeah, one thing I did do when I played Ground Zeroes, I extracted a shitload of soldiers. Like a lot. So we're probably going to have quite a few recruits here. Because you know, I transferred my save file over. Elites? Hey, hey, hey! Russian. Yes. Excellent. We've got some good R&D members and diplomats here. Okay, that's pretty awesome. We've got some good recruits. Including Mr. Kojima himself. Oh god, I love it. I love it.
The side ops list is comprised of problems we need you to resolve. Objectives to be completed, and information gained from the soldiers and prisoners you've extracted. These aren't missions per se, but if you can take care of them when you're free, I'd appreciate it.
I need to see about projects, actually. It's just awesome to have your own damn music playing when when shit gets dropped off. I can't really do any of this shit. Let's have a look at weapons items. I need a sniper rifle. Wait, what's that? Maybe it's not a good idea to stay right by the road. Actually, while we're working in our road.
Whoa! Whoa!
Alright, let's get to work. I know I can view help and everything. Oh wait, staff management. Mr. Kojima. Miller and Oslo are in the waiting room? What? Oh, Mr. Kojima's locked to the unit he's in. Oh, I get it. He's a higher rank. EEB. I get it. So, depending on the rank, it's... Okay. He's got R&D skills, I suppose. A diplomat. Any interpreters? Oh, it seems he's better off in the R&D unit. Okay. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Alright, well, I think we're all good there. I hope we are, anyway. Let's have a proper... Ooh.